Hello Capricorn, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Star Spinner Tarot by Trungles. There's a website in the back, chroniclebooks.com, if you want to search out any of that information. Supportive Oracle Cards, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. It is a Hay House product. It's from 2002, this is though. But if you look up Hay House and astrology like on your favorite search engine, you should be able to find it. I know they have a current calendar out. I believe they're very... what do you call it? Very active still. Like, this is just kind of going on its own energy here all of a sudden. So let's see what's going on. So, there's something new coming forward. Are you leaving something behind or is something coming in is my question. Because I'm getting the Three of Wands in the environment. There's something like, it just seems to be kind of hovering around you. Even though it's the Three of Wands, I'm noticing it's with the Knight of Wands, which makes me feel like it's kind of hovering around somebody or something that's not, it's not new, but it hasn't really come into fruition yet. It's kind of like, you know, it's like that tree you planted out in the backyard and you forgot about it. And a few years go by and you're like, wow, look at that tree. Like, it's kind of like that. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like you planted something. It comes up every year. You just you forgot about it. You don't think about it that often. And then in 1 year, it's all of a sudden full of blooms and leaves and whatever you got. And you're like, wow, I forgot I even planted that. It's been so long. It never looked that good before. It's like something is hovering around you like that. Because you do have success and joy coming in with that. This is on that side too. Really good energy. Really good things coming in. But it hasn't come to fruition yet. Now, this is something that you seem to be very, I want to say, compatible with. This isn't something that bothers you. It's just something that's been there. But it's never been something that's really pulled your attention too strongly. Never really been a problem. But never really been overly advantageous either. I don't think you've given it a lot of thought, to be fair. You've given it some thought, but not a lot. It's kind of like, yeah, that's there, and who cares? Not in a negative way. Just kind of like, yeah, it's there. I don't have a problem with it. No harm, no foul. Not good nor bad. It's there. Great. It's not. It's fine. You've just been kind of like, I don't know. You have other things going on in your life. You don't have time to just sit there and just think about that. I guess that's the best way to put it. Now, this is something that you haven't decided on yet. Now, that is a compass, but my first thought was a watch. Because I'm getting, like, especially with the Page of Pentacles coming in, I feel like you're going to see this come in and it's going to start to look a lot better. It's going to be like, oh, wow, that tree, I forgot I planted it, and it's got all these blooms on it and the leaves, and it looks better than it ever has. I feel like you're going to kind of pull back for a minute, and you're going to kind of like, all right, let me see if this is actually, like, is this a momentary thing? Is this just some type of random that just happened to be good for the moment? Or is this something maybe that I want to be a little bit more involved with? Like, am I going to take this moment and I'm going to, like, cultivate the ground around this tree and put a nice garden around it, you know, spruce it up, take care of it, you know, trim it up a little bit? Or should I just kind of let it be and just see what it's going to do on its own and just kind of be like, it's nice, but maybe it's not for me. I'll just leave it alone and let it do what it's going to do and just kind of let it go as it's going to go. So do I want to actually work on it, or do I want it to just kind of let it be out there for somebody else or something else? You're taking your time with it. That seems rational for Capricorn. You guys are Earth. You don't, you know, if you're going to invest in something or someone, even though it may have been around for a while, if it's showing more value than normal, I feel like your first response is going to be, well, yeah, but is that a temporary gain? And if it's temporary, maybe I'll just leave it there, because I'm not into temporary. I'm into, like, something I can actually hold on to and sustain. I do feel like this situation, even though it does seem like a jump forward, I feel like it's gonna jump forward, but it's gonna keep growing from there. So I do feel like it's gonna be sustainable. This is something. It could be a person or a situation. Could be work related. It doesn't show signs of the next jumps forward. It doesn't show signs that it's going to continue to grow. That's the catch-22. It doesn't really show signs that it's going to keep producing like this and keep going up and up. You're going to have to kind of dig in a little bit more if you really want to know that answer. You're going to have to get in and like really like kind of, if it's a tree example, we keep using that analogy, you're going to have to like inspect the roots a little bit, see what's going on here, why is it doing this like this now, research it maybe online, like what type of tree is this, is it, you know, why did it do so well this year? Oh, it had more sun than usual. Oh, that's right, because we took out those trees over there where those trees started rotting out, so we had to take them down. Now that this tree's getting a lot more light, oh, that's why it's doing so well now. You may have to do a little bit of research, kind of like, oh, that's why this is going better. Oh, okay, and as long as that's like that, it will continue to do better. And you're like, well, I can work with that. I can make sure this tree gets extra sunlight. I can make sure this tree, you know, gets these type of things around it and that these pests stay away from it. Because we also have these shrubberies here, and the certain bug that usually damages that tree doesn't like these shrubs, so it's been staying away from this tree. That's another reason why this has been going so well. Okay, I understand. You're going to have to like search it out a little bit. Because I feel like otherwise you're just going to be like, if you don't search out the answers, you're going to be like, well, it's still going well, but why? Like, why is it doing, how come before it wasn't doing as well and now it's doing so much better? The situation, there's a lot of like hidden aspects to it. But it's kind of like that rabbit down here makes me feel like pulling a rabbit out of the hat. And I feel like you have the ability to do this. Do you have a magician here? You have the King of Swords, and what's that? That's the Ace of Pentacles, which is definitely a card you do well with. And knowledge face down. To me, this makes sense. I don't know if you figuring out why you're going to want to be a part of this. Once you pull up the knowledge and you realize why it's doing better and you see the reasons behind it, which is like the knowledge with the King of Swords. The King of Swords isn't just about communication, it's about mental aspects, figuring out a puzzle, like understanding why something works the way it works. Like if you think of Aquarius, they're very smart, they know what they're doing, they think out all the angles, all the other stuff, they have the reasons behind it. That's your version of the King of Swords. You're figuring out, wait a minute, it's just not random that happened. There's a reason that happened, and you're finding the reasons, which is then creating your Ace of Pentacles. Now that I know that that's going to keep going that way, as long as the sunshine is very plentiful and these bugs stay away, I'm going to do what I can to make sure nothing else comes around, and I'm going to keep giving this tree as much sunlight as I can, and I'm going to work ahead of schedule to make sure nothing else blocks the sunlight from them. I'm going to do what needs to be done. This is when judgment really goes in your favor, because you're not going to invest your time until you know it's worth it. You're not going to invest your time until you've done your research and you're like, okay, yes, I can keep this going, I can keep this producing the way I want it to, in fact, doing even better. Maybe I might even put in a couple more trees over in this area, the same ones, because they look great. It's going to take a couple years for them to get up to this, but I know if I'm going to be taking care of that tree, might as well have a couple more there too. And I'm patient, I can wait for that. You got this going your way. I feel like that's all it takes, and then you're going to be in. I also feel you very private. This is a bounty for you. You did the research, you got the information, you did the work. So I don't feel you just kind of like passing this out to everybody like, this is what I did, this is how I did it. I feel you very kind of careful. Other people can wonder why you're doing what you're doing or wonder why it's working out for you, and that's fine. And if somebody you find favor in, somebody you like, actually, just put it that way. If somebody you like asks why or what's going on, you may decide to tell them. It's up to you. Clearly, you have free will. I feel like this is more a private thing for you. Kind of like, well, I did the research, so I'm going to get the bounty from this. If they want the research, if they want the bounty, they need to do their own research and figure out their own situation. Because I do see you being very secretive with the Queen of Cups. She's not always secretive, but it's kind of like, you know what, I'm not going to share all my tricks. Even though they're not, I wouldn't say they were really tricks, but you know what I mean? I'm not going to share all my intel or why things work out for me. You know what I mean? I don't do all the hard work so other people can get the benefit. I do the hard work so I can get the benefit. I don't know, I just see you being very private about it. Whatever you're doing, it's also kind of like, it's an advantage for you. You put this together, you're the one who should get the advantage. I just feel like I don't want to work for other people and the other people take the advantage and use it against me. I did all the work, so I get all the payoff. If you did the work, you would get the payoff. I keep getting this over and over again, so I don't know what I'm missing from it. Because I feel like some people might be kind of walking away, or they might be poo-pooing what you're doing. That rhymed for some reason. Poo-pooing what you're doing. Why are they poo-pooing you? I almost feel like certain people are saying, well, that's not going to last, Capricorn. I don't know why you're wasting your time on it. Meanwhile, you've researched it. You know you're not wasting your time. You know it's going to last, and you're not going to tell them why. I feel like this is an advantage to you. It's almost kind of like, you know, if you were in a marketing situation and you had something to sell, and people are like, well, that's a fad today. It's not going to last. And you did your research, and you're like, well, it may seem like a fad to you, but this rare fruit I'm selling today that seems to be just a fad to other people, I can see where it's going next. I can see, like, you know, people may not be eating it raw. After a while, they may get sick of eating it raw. Like if it was dragon fruit or something, say it's a fad, people are like eating it. Like they may not eat it like this every day, but there's a couple desserts coming in that are going to be more popular. And then other people are going to want to put it into these dishes. You're like, I can see where it's going to be used, and I can see where I can use it for other things. It has multi-purposes. You're like, other people might think it's a fad, but you did your research. You know it's not. I don't know if that really helps, because I feel like that's kind of... It's basically you see the ins and out. You see where it's going. To other people, they don't believe you. And it's almost... It's kind of like it makes me question. These people who don't believe in you or poo-poo you, do they know you? Are they like, do these people know you? Because Capricorn does not waste their time. It's just not something y'all do. Like, if you're putting your time into something, it's because you believe in it. And there's a reason. Like, you don't just believe in it kind of like, it's Tuesday, I believe in blue, yay, blue. It's not like that. It's kind of like, it's Tuesday. Tuesday's the second day of the week. And that means I got three more days to make this come together. So if I divide up my time by 3, I can make this happen. So I will put in the effort every day, and then I will get my goal on Friday. That's more the Capricorn. Kind of like, I see what I'm going to do. I'm going to plan it out. I'm going to do this every day. And then at Friday evening, I'll have my goal. It's not just kind of like, hey, sounds good, I'll just try it. Let's see what happens. You never do that. Capricorn, the stereotypical Capricorn energy never does that. Just, hey, we'll see what happens. That just doesn't happen. They calculate. They're like, I see, this is how I'm going to, and that's how, and this is why, and now I get it. I put in the effort, I plan it out, and I get my reward. That's how it works. So it makes me wonder if whoever's like poo-pooing you, if they really know you, or if they're trying to play head games with you, they're going to disappear either way, so who cares? But I feel like the only reason this is coming in with this reading is kind of like, do yourself a favor, ignore it. I do feel like some of these people could get under your skin if you allow them to, but I feel like Capricorn knows. I think if you're the Capricorn energy, you know this. If you just shut them out and ignore them, it doesn't matter. But if you let it kind of sink in and start getting under your skin, it might tick you off. Don't let it. Just ignore it. Just move on from it. You've got bounty to make. You've got abundance to claim. You don't have time to mess with these people and get your abundance. It's one or the other, and abundance wins out every time. So who cares about them? Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. And if you'd like to see the donation information, that's below as well. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.